everyone. This is Nitya Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show, alongside with my co-host Lyons. Happy Football Sunday, Championship Sunday. So later on tonight, there's going to be 2 games, so can't wait for that. But today we have a live show. We are joined by a really special guest. His name is Ricky Sapp. He's a former Clemson NFL linebacker. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles, New York Jets, Houston Texans, and the Washington football team. Man, what a great career, great linebacker. And he's doing big things off the field with this foundation. It's called the Ricky Sapp Foundation, which we'll get to. And fans, please tune in. We are live on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, and all the podcast platforms. So fans, tune in. You can ask questions on my app, on my Spreaker app, where questions can come in for these athletes or whoever we have on the show. But Ricky, I just want to say thank you for joining the show. We finally made it happen. And sorry about last week. I was sick, but now I feel much better. So we are back. So
well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. Good morning, and thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ricky. Ricky, take us back. Take us back to the very start of your career, of your connection with football. How did you get started? Who inspired you?
Well, I had an older cousin by the name of Michael. Then I had my uncle James, who played a lot of sports. I saw them playing sports, and kind of got inspired. Long story short, I was riding by a gate at the school I attended, and there was football practice going on with my mom, my sisters, and brothers. And I said, "Mom, can I play?" So she stopped literally right by the gate. I ran to the gate. One of the coaches run up. He's like, "What's up?" I said, "Can I play?" He's like, "Yeah, $10." I said, "All right." So
that's awesome.
I told my mom, and then the rest was history.
Wow.
And how old were you?
Man, I was about 9 or 10 when that happened. When we was riding. That's crazy. I still remember.
That's ambitious. That's so cool. 9 years old. Can I play?
That's
so great.
Yep.
Yeah. So who are some of the? Do you have any like role models growing up before you started playing football, and who did you look up to specifically in the NFL?
Well, once I got into it and really started paying attention to the NFL, one of the defensive ends that I really enjoyed watching was Javon Kearse. And then, my friends started calling me him because, I was long and very athletic and fast like him. So he was one of the guys I really kind of looked to. And once they started calling me him, I was like, who the heck is this guy? So I started watching him. So he was one of the guys I looked up to.
Wow.
Did you play different positions, or what was your strengthening like?
Well, yeah. Well, my first position when I first played was offensive guard, and my first game. My uncle was at the game. He was like, "What? Why are you playing that position?" After that, I asked the coach to put me at running back, and then I really thought that I was going to be a running back my career. So I played running back, then I played tight end, then I returned kickoffs in high school. I really did, yeah.
Nice.
Well, so it's good that you picked linebacker, because in high school, man, you had a great high school career. You had 27 tackles, 11 quarterback sacks, 70 tackles. Tell our fans about your high school career, man.
It was amazing, man. I'm from Bamberg, South Carolina. It's a small town here in South Carolina. It's an incredible sports city. Just an incredible city that gets behind the community, gets behind the school. So my football career was definitely amazing. And I played running back up until I got to high school. Yeah. And then it was like, let's see what you look like at defensive end. So I played defensive end, but I also played tight end and return kickoffs in high school. So high school football was definitely dope, definitely fun.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on that, because I think it's really important for now these kids to learn multiple positions. Playing positions at the same time, because coaches love versatile players now when it comes to college and the NFL or whatever, whichever league they want to go to. So for you, how important was it for you as an athlete playing, especially in high school, playing tight end, doing kick return, playing linebacker or defensive tackle, defensive end, and even running back? How important was that for you as an athlete?
Well, it was very important as far as helping the team,
yeah.
And then when you're at that level, man, you're just trying to have fun. Football is a kid's game, and when you're at that level, you're just trying to do much as you can. Now, once I got older, I realized, like, look, the more you can do, the better. So that's why, I always try to stress to kids, I like, don't focus on one position, focus on how you can get on that field and help the team as much as possible, and also help yourself stay active and stay in that football role and playing as long as you can.
That's amazing advice. And we see from your page that you have that strong fellowship and faith, which is awesome. So what were you like in high school to make changes to the position I think it's big. And then to excel at it and be in high school and then navigate just being a kid who's growing and learning. What was that like? What were you like in high school going through all those changes and still kicking butt?
Well, I'll tell you this, before high school now, I'll just say real quick, before high school, it was rough. I got kicked out of school in 8th grade. Then I get to high school and I couldn't even play football in 9th grade because I was kicked out the year before. So
what were you kicked out for?
Oh man, I was everything. I was in 8th grade. And I remember the principal called me and he was like, look, you got over 70 or 80 referrals. It was like, I can't let you stay in my school no longer. So it was everything. I was young, confused, seeking attention. And I got kicked out of school in 8th grade. And I got to high school, couldn't play football in 9th grade, but I played basketball. And once I got in high school, it felt like I was waiting all my life just to get there, to get around even more coaches, teachers. I met my godmother in high school. Just all the people in that building kind of circled me, and I had nowhere to run. So I had no choice but to grow and improve and to step into that football role and continue to grow. Yeah.
Wow. So it was really changing for you, like life changing then.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Wow, that's powerful.
Wow. And fans, please tune in. This is episode 970. We are live with former Clemson NFL linebacker Ricky Sapp. Please tune in. Please ask questions too on my app. So I want to ask you, this is a two-part question. Obviously, you were named All-American in high school too by USA Today. Take us to that. What was that like for you? And then also, you were ranked the #1 weak side prospect, defensive end prospect in high school. And we'll ask about your college recruitment later, but just tell us about that being mentioned.
We got a new high school coach going into my 10th grade year in high school, and I started playing football in 10th grade. He came up to me, I think one time, I remember, he was like, man, you're probably gonna be getting recruited by some big schools here and be this and that. I'm like, what is this dude talking about, man? I'm just playing football. So eventually, and everybody started saying it, but he was the first one. And so eventually, man, it just kind of, it kind of was it happened real fast. Started recruited by schools. I remember Clemson, South Carolina offered the same day. And after that, they just started rolling in. And then eventually one day my high school coach came and he's like, hey, you are in the top 100 players in the nation now. And then I remember at the end of my senior year, being ranked the #1 DN in the nation. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of like, wow, I didn't know. I was just playing football, if that makes sense.
That's incredible. So how did you feel about that and how did you choose Clemson?
Man, I hope I ain't got no Clemson fans watching.
Oh my gosh, we are Clemson fans. We are ready to come. We just did an interview with Antoine McLean, and we're like, and Patrick Sapp, my friend Patrick Sapp's there, so it's like, I know it's incredible.
Man, I tell you what, I was blessed to be recruited by. I had over 50 offers, and
wow.
That's
incredible. That's incredible. The fact that you did all that and that football brought you back into really high school and then you just boom.
I had never really heard about Clemson too much. I had a guy before me at my high school that was being recruited by Clemson, and he took me to a couple of games, and I was like, man, okay, this is pretty amazing. So through the recruiting process, I was Florida State, Georgia, LSU, but really Florida State. A lot of people don't know, but it came down to the last minute where I was still looking at maybe Florida State. Yeah, but
That's
I,
crazy.
I made the decision to go to Clemson, and if I had to do it again, I'd pick Clemson all over again.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's
So,
fantastic.
man, speaking of that, how tough, especially for an athlete, making a big change from high school or going to college. So for you, obviously, so you just said it came down to last minute. So, what were the key factors about Clemson, and also how tough? I mean, I obviously came to the last minute, but how tough is it for you to choose this to choose two colleges, and both are great programs. Florida State is an amazing program when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But what were the key factors that led you to Clemson?
Man, I kept going back throughout the recruiting process. I went and I was like, man, let me go back. Every time I went back, I don't know, it was just a feeling. I was like, man,
Feeling.
I like this place, man. So the coaches were amazing through the recruiting process. And I don't know if you ever heard, but they say that there's something in the hills in Clemson. So, oh man, I just fell in love with the place. Yep.
Well,
It's such a big change when you get to college, let alone being a star. You know, everybody wants you, and then you've made these changes from high school to committing yourself and putting your all into football. What was it like when you got to Clemson, when you're separated from your family, you're there, and then you're expected to really bunker down and then bring up this new level of performance as an athlete?
It was amazing. I'll tell you the first thing that you guys probably laughed. The first thing that was amazing was I was on campus and I was able to eat breakfast twice. And I called my mom one morning and I said, Mom, I just had breakfast twice. This place is amazing. So, but it
That's
was
awesome.
it was great to be at such a huge school and to be a part of the football team. It was amazing, but at the same time, it was growing pains. You know, I had to learn about time management. I had to learn about who I am. You know, I was a 18, 19-year-old kid coming into a school. So I had my growing pains, but overall, it was truly an amazing time in my life as a young buck coming into Clemson.
wow, that's amazing. We have a fan question that just came in. They want to know when did your Cowboys fandom start, and did anyone on the Eagles know you were a Cowboy fan?
So, it's good. As a young kid, my dad and some other people in my family were Cowboy fans. So automatically, you're gonna, as a kid, you're gonna kind of follow the lead. Here's what's funny: I got drafted to the Eagles, and people was asked, "How can you play for the Eagles and be a Cowboy fan?" Easy. The Eagles paid the bills. The Cowboys was a fan. I was just a Cowboys fan, but at the Eagles practices, I kid you not, our coaches would talk about the Cowboys almost every day.
I got a split here.
Hey, well, I got a special place in my heart because the Eagles, they started my childhood dream with drafting me in 2010. So they always have a special place in my heart.
Man,
we appreciate you. Tell us about your draft. Tell us how that was.
Oh man, it was dream come true. I remember being projected to go early, but ended up going in the 5th round. And when I got the call from the Eagles, it was unreal. The best part was my mom running and crying on my shoulder. If I could relive that every day, I would. That was the best part. Yeah.
Wow.
That's sweet. I'm a mama 3. That's what we want to hear. That's special.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I want to ask. We asked Antoine McLean this question about Dabo Swinney. He was a position coach while you guys were there, not a head coach yet. But I told him that Clemson is really lucky to have a coach like Dabo Swinney now as a head coach. So for you, I want to ask you the same thing. What was it like being with Dabo Swinney? Obviously, he was a position coach, but what did you see from him that made him become the head coach now for Clemson?
When we was there, Coach Swinney was the same guy he is now. He was very energized. He was very authentic. He wore his faith on his shoulder. So when the news broke that he was the head coach, we was like, oh, shoot, we rock with that guy. We like that guy. So he took over midway through my junior year, and I had him my senior year. And I remember as seniors, we were talking amongst each other saying, man, we wish we had an extra year with him, because we knew what kind of guy he was when he was the receiver coach. And then when he took over, and with everything that has happened for him, everybody outside of the program was surprised, but we wasn't. We just knew what kind of guy he was, and people would run through a brick wall for him, and they still will.
And
That's amazing. How about the best advice you got from him or experience?
You know, man, I'm gonna tell you two things about Coach Sweeney, and I hope I hope somehow he hear this. The first thing is this. I don't know why the heck this always comes to my mind. Coach Sweeney used to say this all the time at practice, after practice. Guys, what you do in the dark will come to light. I don't know why. I guess in college I wouldn't.
I have the chills.
I don't know.
Amazing.
But he would say it all the time. And I remember one time he was saying, I was like, man, why the heck you keep saying that? So, but I feel I learned out shortly. But another thing that Coach Sweeney did that I probably need to eventually tell him is, in my NFL career, after I was leaving Philly, I was kind of going through something, and I got released. Coach Sweeney called me, I think. Yeah, he called. And, he was the head coach at Clemson. He was like, look, I don't know what the heck going on, but tell me what I need to do, who I need to call. I'll tell everybody I can about you, about what kind of guy you are, and I want to help you as much as possible. And that will always stick with me for the rest of my life. I just thought that was an amazing moment for him to call and say those words.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I still have the chills. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us about one of your most incredible experiences playing at Clemson.
Whew. I'll have to say my first game, all right? You guys trying to get me emotional today. That's what you guys trying to do. My first Clemson game.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
It is Sunday. My first Clemson game, my position coach, Ron West, he sends me in the game to take out the late Gaines Adams. And I go in for my first play as a rookie. And when I run in, I look in the stands, and my mom stands up, my dad stands up, and I think my brother and sister stand up. and I remember my dad doing this right here, and then I looked at I was playing Florida Atlantic. I looked at the Florida Atlantic, and that moment was just amazing for me.
Wow.
It was really, yeah.
I'm getting emotional. That is amazing. Yeah. Envisioning it now. Yeah. That's powerful. That's got to feel amazing. So prideful.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So obviously, once you get drafted from the Eagles, you come in as a rookie. And what goes to your mind when you see players like Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Brett Selleck, and even go on the defensive side? You play with Jamar Chaney. Man, what a great player he was. So what was it like just going into the locker room and seeing players like that?
Man, it was amazing, man. And I had no idea who a lot of those guys was, like Trent Cole.
Yeah, Trent Cole. Yeah.
Jaquay Parker, who I think was an amazing defensive end. And our first mini camp as rookies, me and Jamar, Brandon Graham, and those guys, Michael Vick comes running out. And we standing off to the side. We was like, yo, that's Michael Vick. That's the Michael Vick. So that moment was like the wow moment. Like, I'm really here.
Hey, Trent Cole. We had Trent Cole on the show 2 years ago.
And I couldn't make that. I was so upset. I was traveling from New Jersey back home. Wait, tell us about the camaraderie, because I follow the Instagram, like Brandon Graham does the lives in the locker room, and they're so funny. I love them. I appreciate them. Tell us about some of that. I just know it was like the best time then.
Yeah, it was definitely dope. It was different, coming from a college locker room to an NFL locker room where, like, look, we got one job to do, and that's to make sure we help each other get better and win. So it was incredible, man, to see all these veterans. Jason Peters, who I loved.
My gosh, yes.
Oh, I love the guy. So it was so good to see those guys and also listen to them tell us how to be pros. Jason Peters was one of the guys that took me to the side when I was there, and would give me advice. So, and me and Brandon Graham came in together, and as you guys see, he's still there playing. He's incredible, and love him so much. So good to see what he's doing there.
Absolutely. I need the Super Bowl picture I have hanging over there right behind me right now. Thanks, BG. So So tell us more about that experience getting there. What was the mindset like when you got to the NFL? You're here at the Eagles. It's Philly. We got an edge. We got a little roughness to us. So and that is a fun crowd, but it's also like we're getting GSD. We're getting stuff done kind of crew. I'm gonna say it like that. So what was that like?
Well, again, I'm from good old South Carolina. I didn't really know too much about Philly. So when I got there, I learned real quick how passionate the fans was, how serious it was, about, just playing sports there, brotherly love, city of brotherly love, and all that good stuff. But I thought it was amazing to have a fan base that was so passionate, but educated on the game. Right. They knew the game. So I thought that was dope. I also thought it was kind of interesting how they told us a story about how the Philly fans booed Santa and all that good stuff. So and there's so much history in Philadelphia. So it was just an amazing transition once I got to Philly and then to learn about the city.
It's incredible. Tell me about your thoughts on Coach Reid. You think Coach Reid's gonna win it all again? Is he going to win?
Well, I think so. And I think he'll go down as one of the best coaches. He's a players coach, but he's tough love players coach. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Coach Reid, and I think he'll definitely get it done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me too.
This is a two-part question. So tell our fans, what was it like competing in the NFC East? Obviously, you played for Washington also. What was it like playing against your favorite team, the Cowboys, America's team, I should say? And then you played against the Washington football team. And just tell us about the NFC, New York Giants too, NFC East. And then the next part to this question, what was it, speaking of Andy Reid, what was it like playing underneath Andy Reid? And tell us some of the stories that you with Andy Reid.
I couldn't hear. Can you repeat the first part?
First one. What was it like?
He wants your whole career.
What was it like competing in the NFC East against your favorite team, the Cowboys, the Giants, and obviously you played against. You played with Washington too, so.
The Cowboys. Again, when I got to the NFL, I didn't know how serious the rivalry was. I didn't know about, a question to ask you as a rookie when you play is like, do you know what conference you're in? Like, do you? So they used to ask that. But I thought it was great having that rivalry with the Cowboys and having to play them twice. And man, just growing up, seeing the Cowboys players and just in that whole area with the Giants and the Washington football team. It was fun. And like I said, I'm a fan of the Cowboys, so it was just amazing to be in that division and to be able to play them twice.
Yeah, and then tell us about some stories about Andy Reid as a coach when you were there.
Andy Reid as a coach, you guys probably heard this, but he would come at the end of every meeting, he would be like, all right, look, we got these cheeseburgers in here. Let's go check them out. So I was a rookie the first time he said it, and I really thought we had cheeseburgers, like waiting for us. But at the end of every meeting, he would say, guys, look, we got these cheeseburgers in here. Let's go get a cheeseburger. And we would go. I'd be like, Coach, there's no cheeseburgers. Oh. But that was kind of his like signature. All right, goodbye, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of his signature. So it really was. And I really thought that we had cheeseburgers. And then one day he was like, guys, if you ever had good cheeseburgers, wait till you get these cheeseburgers. Let's go. I'm like, all right, are we going to have cheeseburgers this time? We never had cheeseburgers. So
he's got to bring some cheeseburgers your way.
Yeah. So that was something he would always say.
That's funny.
Wow.
Ricky, tell us about, when you get to the NFL and you've been watching, what players were you looking forward to, but at the same time, like a little bit, maybe perhaps jittery to play against, or you just wanted to go and get?
Well, of course you want to play against
The screen. Oh, screen fruit. Oh.
Oh, now I'm waiting. Oh, I want to know the answer too.
Of course, Tom, and
Oh, the, okay.
definitely
Oh,
wanted to see.
Ricky, it
Yeah,
cut out for a
the
second.
screen
Can you tell
froze.
us again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I think two of the guys definitely were Marshawn Lynch and Tom Brady. Everybody was big as Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And congrats on Tom's retirement as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, apparently, there's a story out there that he has not made a choice yet, so we don't know.
Well,
okay. It's not confirmed. Well, either way, he's awesome. So mad respect. And Marshawn Lynch, love his style. I gave him through my business, Platinum Prince. I gave him a best dressed award. He's awesome.
Until Tom says it, I don't believe it. I don't think he retired yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
But so I want to ask you. Actually, we have another fan question in here. Someone wants to know, what was your sack celebration whenever you sacked the quarterback?
Man, in college, it was just a bunch of dancing. What's the dancing? In the NFL, it was kind of awkward because, you know, when you're young and get a sack, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I do? So
yeah, you don't want to get in trouble, but you want to float a little bit.
I can remember playing for the Jets, and I think Rex, somebody was like, man, you got to get a better sack dance than that. That's terrible.
Yeah, let's talk about the Jets. Tell us about the Jets experience. I used to live in New York. I want to hear more about that. What's that like?
Living in dirty Jersey. No. Well, first, it was a truly amazing experience because I'm from South Carolina, a small town. So to be able to be in that big city and be able to get in New York, live close to New York, it was truly amazing. But Rex Ryan, I love the guy, man. It was so cool. So fun to play for him.
Yeah.
And to play in the locker room with such an incredible group of guys.
What was his style? What was Rex's style like?
Rex was a guy that he made sure everybody was having fun, but at the same time doing their job. He was a leader that he wasn't going to let you walk in that building and not be ready to have fun and go to work. He wasn't going to walk by you without speaking. Every other word was going to be probably a curse word, but he kept it honest. And man, I wish he was still a head coach because I just think he's that incredible.
Hey,
that's amazing. What experiences. This is such a great interview.
Yeah, Rex Ryan, heck of a coach. He deserves another chance. But he's doing an awesome job on ESPN right now covering football. Yep. And what a great guy he is. Whoever says something yet negative about him, they're wrong, because Rex Ryan, man, he is a class act person. Obviously, he can be goofy sometimes, but in a good way. And he's a great guy to have on the team. But I want to talk about that defense, man. You're gonna like this. I had Mark Sanchez and Antonio Cromartie on the show too, way back. So it was an honor talking to them. And so speaking of that defense, what was it like playing with Bart Scott, man? Learning from Bart Scott, David Harris, Calvin Pace, Darrelle Revis, Cromartie, Eric Smith. Man, that defense was loaded that year.
So when I got to the Jets, that's when I started to really kind of mature as far as understanding. I had to look at the vets who were doing it right and learn. Calvin Pace, and who I love, man, because he truly helped me, grow into how to show up to work and do what I need to do on the field and off the field. And then Antonio Cromartie, I thought, who was amazing, because he told me this one day. He was sitting in the in one of the tubs, and he was like, I don't know how I think I asked him a question, but he was like, man, this is my playground. I show up early. I do everything I need to do before practice, before meetings, and then I stay after and take care of my body. And he was like, you got to look at it as your playground, man, and use it as that. So that whole group, Bart Scott, Dave Harris, all those guys were truly amazing how they led by example. And then fast forward, DeJuan Landry comes as well.
Yeah.
It was just so amazing to learn from him too.
Wow.
Ricky, when you change organizations, how does it feel to you're traveling and you have that newness, but at the same time you gotta stay BA, you know what I mean? Like that strength of like, you know, I'm here. It's individuality, but it's a new team. So what was that like?
It's rough, you know, because when you talk about playing high school ball for, you know, same high school and playing college for the same college for 4 years.
Yeah.
Once you get to that level and then you have that kind of change, it's kind of tough because you develop relationships with guys, but you still playing the game. You know, you still have the opportunity. So for me, it was exciting times to get to new organization, to join new players and see what I could do.
Nice.
So tell us about some of your experience, best moments or best games with the Eagles and the Jets.
Man, my best experience with the Eagles was, of course, our first 2 preseason games. I think my first game was in Kansas City. If you guys know, Kansas City is loud as crap.
Yes.
And I remember Moses Foku, I think that's his name. The one of the linebackers for the Eagles. He tapped me and he was like, "Welcome to the league, Rook," because it was just so loud. I was like, "Man, this is incredible." So
wow.
Yeah, so that was an amazing experience. And then you know, playing with the Jets and playing the Eagles, sacking Nick Foles, and just playing with such a great group. You know, I played for the Jets for the longest, and I truly had an incredible time. Met a lot of friends that I still talk to this day that I call my brothers. So definitely amazing times.
Wow.
That's incredible. Tell us about one of your biggest sacrifices for one of your biggest gains. What was that?
Man, biggest sacrifice. I would say playing injured, I think, but you know, a lot of guys do that. But I would think playing injured, where I was really.
Yeah, give us an example. What was one of your injuries?
I had a high ankle sprain. If you guys know anything about high ankle sprain, that's something.
No, wow.
That's
I had a low one. It took like 3 years to heal. It's broken.
Yeah. So you know the seriousness of that kind of injury.
That's incredible to play on that. Same with him. He played with that ankle.
Yes, it takes a long time.
And how did you deal with that?
Well, you know, I had to medicine up. I had to take some medicine, and when you play sports, it's a mentality of you have to tell your body, look, we got to get through it.
Yeah.
So when you're used to that, you know, you kind of get yourself prepared for it mentally, and you just go and let it roll.
Wow, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like especially for basketball players, when they get high ankle sprains, especially. I think it takes longer. Obviously, it depends on the person, but I feel like it takes a little bit longer for basketball players to come back from that than any other players. What do you think about that? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, because basketball, they do more stopping and cutting, stopping and going than any other sport. I had to guess off top. They do a lot of stopping and jumping. So yes.
So looking at your career now, looking back at your career, and how grateful are you to be in this position? Obviously, working hard every day, and having coaches behind you from day one, like Dabo Sweeney, calling you. Even you were in the NFL. That story you told us was just amazing. But how grateful are you to be in this position right now?
Man, it's a blessing. When I look back on the journey, people I met, and to now be where I'm at now, to still have those relationships and to see what all happened, it's a blessing. It's something that, you know, you sit down and reflect on, and it's something that you can now tell kids. You know, being that my passion is kids, you know, I can now sit back and tell them stories and help encourage them.
Wow.
That's what it's all about. I can't wait to hear about the foundation, but I also wanted to hear about more of like, did your parents travel to come and see you to play for the Jets and at different places?
My mom's uncle, who was definitely a football guy. Him, my mom, and my godmother, her family, they would travel from time to time to see me play.
And how was that?
It was amazing, man. Just because we started in high school.
Yeah.
The Clemson experience for them was amazing. They loved it. They still talk about it. And then to go to that level, it was just for them. It was man, it was great. And they still talk about it to this day as well.
Wow.
That's magical.
Yeah.
And tell us about the foundation.
Yeah.
I started my foundation in 2010 when I got drafted. Before that, I've always been a person, like many people, that gets into the professional sports. You just want to give and help. And for me at the time, I didn't know that God put me here to work with kids. So I started the foundation, and it's the Ricky Sapp Foundation. You know, Dream Big, Live Big. I started it and started doing events every year for kids. And fast forward a couple of years later, I figured out that my purpose was kids. So it all kind of, worked out perfect as far as my foundation. So my foundation has been going strong since 2010, probably the strongest it's been right now with the events I do every year for kids.
That's amazing. And I think it's so important to share. I do a lot of charity work as well. And the kids, it's like the things that they can say to you or just the appreciation or the admiration. Tell us some experiences that you've had that have really just rocked your world and just pushed you even further on your purpose.
I left the NFL in 2014 with the idea that I was going to come back and play for 5 more years. I went back to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, working out and training. Fell into a depression and anxiety for a long time. This high school, North Myrtle Beach High School over in Myrtle Beach, one of the coaches happened to, he saw me and my cousin DeQuan Ball was in the gym working out, and he said, "Hey, you guys come talk to the team." At that moment before that, I didn't care to speak. I wasn't a motivational speaker. I was like, man, whatever. All right, we'll go speak. Spoke to the team. They text me a couple of days later and said, "Look, you should probably come be a volunteer coach." I was like, "Nope, I'm playing football in the NFL. It's training camp coming up." So he asked me again. I went to this high school, North Myrtle Beach High School. I was a volunteer coach. What ended up happening was I fell in love. And one night I was talking to some kids after basketball practice, and one of the kids was like, "Man, why you so tough on me, man? Why you always getting on me?" And I told the kid, I said, "Man, I love you." And it was at that moment that God said, "Look, this is why I put you on this earth, to work with kids and encourage kids." So from that moment on, that's been
incredible.
my mission.
What did he say?
I don't remember. You know how kids that age, they're cool.
He was like,
a lot of kids don't kind of, they try to act cool, like, so I don't remember what he said, but they knew.
Yeah.
So those kids at North Myrtle Beach High School thought it was so cool to have an NFL guy coaching them. And they thought that, that I was there, that I was there only for them, but I was there for them to help me too. So
yeah, absolutely.
It was amazing.
I'm so glad that they have you, and I'm so glad that you have them and you created this foundation. It's incredible.
Yep.
It's really, really amazing. And so what advice would you give to young athletes now in this generation that are trying to work hard to get to their goals, or and some kids might have to take a longer route to get to where they want to be, but what advice would you give them?
A couple of things that I would say is this: believe, but don't look for others to believe in you and what you want to do. Second thing is this: make sure you're doing the little things you talk about on social media when nobody's looking. The next thing is this: it's time you have to evaluate who you hang around, because who you hang around is who you will become. Those 3 things are important. And then the last thing I would say is enjoy the process. Know when to work hard, but know when to be a kid.
That is such great advice. All of those. Ricky, do you share with them your experience in high school?
I have to. I have
no
choice.
That's so powerful.
I have to. Yep.
No, that's amazing.
Do you last question on this? Do you also share what you do in the dark will be shining the light?
Yeah.
Always.
I love that.
Always.
That's awesome. We have another fan question that just came in. They want to know your hype. What's your hype music throughout your career?
Oh man, one of my good friends, Corey Larry Billin from high school, Pastor Troy. I don't know if you guys will probably remember Pastor Troy, but Pastor Troy had a lot of hype music. So I would listen to a lot of Pastor Troy, DMX, and as I got older, I'm a huge Rick Ross and Young Jeezy fan as well.
Nice on all.
Yeah.
Now, since Nathan, Ricky, tell us, since you're a man of faith, tell us some moments throughout your career, football, high school, college, NFL, where you felt the power of the Most High, where you just felt really divinely guided.
When I was heading to the New York Jets is when I really started my relationship now to where it's at as far as with God. I was transitioning to the Jets, and I have never in my life did fasting. One of my college ex-teammates' mom got me into it, and she's like, we go fast, we go pray. And long story short, what ended up happening was I saw a vision, and I saw God kind of reveal himself. And in that moment, I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap. So that was kind of a moment for me. And then another one real quick was I used to pray in my closet at my house back in Myrtle Beach. And I just remember one night I sat down in the dark in the closet and started talking to God. And right in my chest, it got really warm and hot. I just started crying. I was like,
wow,
holy crap, this is it. So those are a couple of moments where I, felt God and had those moments.
Wow.
That's incredible. Incredible shares. And when you fast, I just read somewhere that I pray all the time. I'm very spiritual too. I had a near-death experience as a child. And I feel like sports unifies, and it's just such a great way for fellowship, within families and friends. I've heard about fasting, but does that mean you don't eat any food, or do you just eat a certain type of like light stuff with water? Because I can't imagine being able to succeed at that.
It depends on what you want to do. At the time, my ex-teammate mom, what she had me do was from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I think I couldn't do nothing but drink water, maybe, I think.
That's incredible. Were you playing football that day?
No, I wasn't. That was I think it was during the moment where I was transitioning and having to wait until I was going to sign with the Jets. So we didn't do it long. We didn't do it too long, maybe for 7 to 10 days, maybe.
Wow.
So it was after 7 o'clock. I was like, man, I got to go eat. So, but it was an amazing experience.
That sounds worth it, but it also sounds incredibly challenging.
It was an amazing experience. It really was.
Yeah. I'm going to try it. Hopefully I can do it.
Good luck.
Speaking of praying, we're Hindu, and we pray all the time. And my grandma, she fasts, but her fasting, she eats like what do you call like nuts. She eats nuts, just a little bit, and then rest of the day she fasts for like till the next day. Then she'll eat again. But yeah, so Hindu, we pray a lot. We pray to all our gods, and we do a lot of praying, and we use this water. We drink the water and put it on top of the head too. So nice,
very interesting. And your grandma's the best.
Yeah, thank you.
She's pleasant. I don't know if she's fasting when I was on the phone with her.
Wait, your screen froze again.
Oh no.
Oh, there
you are.
Can you hear us?
There you are.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, your screen froze. So a couple more things here before we let you go. Where can our fans find your foundation? And if they want to help out with your foundation, where can we find that?
So you can go to www.therickysappfoundation.com. You can go in there. It is nonprofit, 501(c)(3). You can go in there and you can donate. You can donate to the foundation, but you also can see all the events that I do throughout the year. So you can go in there, and also I also do motivational speaking. So I have my own motivational speaking website, and it's called rickysapp.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have my own podcast, and it's called Talk to Me Tuesday, and it's on Spotify.
Hey, speaking of that podcast,
cool.
How did that come about, your podcast?
Man, long story short, man, I had no idea I was supposed to be doing motivational speaking, but one of my high school friends called me one day and was like, you should probably do a Facebook Live and just talk. And I was like, what? So I started doing a Facebook Live on Sunday called Encouragement Sunday. And then Tuesday, I called it Talk to Me Tuesday. Well, eventually the Talk to Me Tuesday one became popular. Okay. And they kept saying, you should do a podcast. I'm like, what? So I got in touch with somebody and it was like, you should pick a day to turn to a podcast. My Talk to Me Tuesday was the most popular. So
what were you, Ricky, were you doing that at like lunchtime on Tuesdays?
No. At 7:00. Every Tuesday at 7, I go live on Facebook and I record my live podcast. Yeah.
Are you still doing the Tuesdays on Facebook?
Are you going to join?
We're going to check it out.
Let's go. 7:00 Tuesday night.
Definitely.
Facebook. Yeah.
Ricky, tell us who you have your eye on in the NFL right now.
Ooh. Well, of course, now come on now, my Clemson guys, you know, always gotta watch them. But because I'm a defensive guy, I'm always looking at defensive guys. I'm really a fan of the DNs. I love Chandler from Arizona.
Yeah,
linebacker. Of course, Von Miller. I really love that DN from the Raiders, number 98. Can't think of his name.
Max Crosby.
Oh man, I love that guy. I like watching him play. And of course, I love watching, the quarterback play Lamar. Lamar Jackson is an amazing talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what about Micah Parsons?
Oh yeah, of course. Come on, that's the home team. Home team. Yeah, home team.
All right. So I want to tell us. All right, who do you have in today's games? Both games are gonna be awesome, but it's gonna be tough games, and obviously. The first game is a division game. They're playing for the third time this season. But who do you have winning both games today?
I definitely think the Chiefs win. I don't want the 49ers to win because they beat the Cowboys. But so I think the Chiefs because the Chiefs are playing the 49ers,
Bengals.
right?
No, Bengals. Chiefs.
Bengals. Yes.
And the 49ers playing the Rams.
I think the Chiefs win. The 49ers Rams game, man. The Rams, they're doing really well, but they kind of hit or miss, you know. So, but the way they're playing now, I think the Rams get it done today.
So. I think the Rams are going to get it done, and don't tell my friend Tony.
So
yeah, I think the Rams will get it done.
Yep.
I got the Rams and Bengals in the Super Bowl.
I
believe in the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow has something special. And
absolutely.
No disrespect to the Chiefs.
Number one.
No disrespect to the Chiefs, but I feel the Bengals have something this year they're riding high. They have their young team. They're like the Cinderella story this year of the NFL. Why not keep it going, right? I want to keep seeing this Bengals young team rise to the occasion, and I feel like they're ready for this. What a great coach, Zach Taylor. And Joe Burrow Jamar Chase is a real deal. This guy's a heck of a receiver, and they have something going for the Bengals. And Bengal fans should be excited now for the future.
I agree. All great points. Except for Patrick Mahomes' dad that was just on the show.
Yeah, we had Patrick Mahomes. I had Patrick Mahomes' father on the show too. So I'm going. I don't know what to do. I'm going against.
It's hard, but it's so exciting to watch.
That's awesome.
But so for you, what's it like sharing your stories, your experiences, and what you've been through throughout your career on platforms like these and on other podcasts you've been on? So what's that been like for you, just to share your story?
It's been really powerful because so many people are going through some of the same things you're going through, and even when I go talk to kids, man, you know, they come up to me and be like, you know, man, you know, I've been through this and this. So it's been powerful. It's been an eye opener, but it also has encouraged me to continue to share more of my story and be more vulnerable.
Yeah, that relatability and ability to open is so powerful. How does it feel, Ricky? You mentioned that you didn't think you'd be public speaking, and then suddenly someone says, like, go talk on Facebook, and then you're doing it. So I felt the same way. I spend 2/3 of my day designing, working, quiet, peace, but I love to connect. Nathan kept saying, do this with me. How does it feel now that you're doing the podcast when you interview other guys, but then you share that camaraderie again, that sports circle? How does that feel?
It's truly incredible because I grew up taking speech classes and stutter. I talk real fast. My friends oh man, yeah, I talk real. I would think I would think and real fast, and then try to talk real fast, and then I would stutter, and my friends would clown me. So I grew up taking speech classes and stuttering. I hated public speaking class when I took it here at Clemson. Never cared to speak in front of people, but I started listening to motivational speakers by the name of Eric Thomas, and was like, and I started thinking to myself, man, I would say it like this, say it like that. Then, long story short, I got asked to speak out of nowhere. And then after that one time, I started getting asked to speak almost every other day.
Wow.
And so here we are. So it has truly been amazing. And my friends and all my ex-teammates and everybody, now they look like, Steph is doing a podcast and speaking. So, yeah.
How did it feel speaking that first time? And Eric Thomas, P.S., like phenomenal.
I love him. The first time, man. Well, my first really time was when I went to that North Myrtle Beach High School. Then I didn't get asked to speak again until one day I was standing in a gym where I was training kids, and this lady that I knew walked up and said, "Hey, we lost our speaker.
Wow.
Can you come speak?" I'm like, what?
Like right there on the fly?
On the spot. I'm like, all right, bet I'll come speak. So
wow, good for you.
Yeah, so after that, it just took off.
That's awesome, man. Yo,
did it just feel like a great release, or just the ability to share, or how did that feel?
It felt like game. It felt like you know what I'm saying? It felt like it felt right. It felt like what I was supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah.
Even after the first time, it took a couple of times till I was like, holy crap, you know, I love this, you know?
Yes.
And now all I want to do is I want to speak every day.
Yeah. That's incredible. My daughter has speech therapy. I want to show her this for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're an incredible speaker and sharer and connecting and I'm going to watch your show. I'm tuning into I don't do Facebook that much, but I'm going to. I will be there.
I appreciate it.
Hey, you'll be a great coach one day, man, if you decide to coach.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be calling you.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Next linebackers coach, Ricky Sapp for the Dallas Cowboys, hopefully.
Ooh, that got a ring to it.
Hey, so before we get to the last two things, I just want to ask you what's that one key quote or one key word that you live by every day?
Well, my motto with my foundation, dream big, live big. If people that know me personally, they know that I don't think big, man. I give you an example. If you just started your business and it's a small business, I would tell you, like, man, you better get ready because you're gonna have to build 10 more. So that's kind of how I live life. I believe it. I believe big. I think big things will happen. So dream big. That's something I definitely try to live by every day.
Yeah, well said. Well said. So the last two things here before we let you go, our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. I'm sure you know him, former NFL coach. Now he's the head coach for Grambling State University, and we're trying to help him prevent human trafficking, making sure the kids stay safe, the community stays safe. So we'll send you the foundation so you can go check it out because it's still horrible out there what we're seeing with human trafficking. And we're trying to come up with ways how to stop it, and we're helping him. And so we'll send you the foundation.
Oh, man, incredible. Thank you.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and all the essential workers right now?
You're heroes. Heroes don't wear capes, and you guys are truly heroes. We are definitely thankful for what you do every day, being on the front street of all of this that's going on.
Wow. Well said. Man, what a great story. This wraps up episode 970 with former Clemson NFL linebacker Ricky Sapp. Go check him out on all social media formats. He's a motivational speaker, a fitness person, man, and he has a podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Go check that out on Facebook. Man, Ricky, I just want to say thank you for joining the show. It's truly an honor. What a great story. We learned a lot today from this. Keep up the great work, and we would love to have you back on the show down the line so you can meet the full team. But keep up the great work, and we're definitely going to tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. I'll mark that on my phone after this. So Tuesday on Facebook, man, please, everyone tune in. But, man, this is what a great story. I'm telling you, man, this story has to be on ESPN 30 for 30 or
Love
something.
it.
But man, keep up the great work and thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you, Ricky. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.